places to find leaks. Valves, flare fittings where copper tubing may be touching something it can rub against, rusted out receivers, non-hermetic compressor rotating shafts, non-hermetic compressor head gaskets, evaporator coils, condenser coils, expansion devices, rusty filters and dryers. Leak testing should be performed using an electronic leak detector that is designed to detect the specific refrigerant contained in the system. When a system contains no refrigerant, a trace amount of that system's refrigerant may be added to nitrogen or another inert gas charged for use with a leak detector. Fluorescent dye, when compatible with the refrigeration system, can be used to identify hard-to-find small leaks. The dye becomes bright when a black UV light is used to light up the equipment. This works especially well in dark areas or at night. Simple soap bubbles can also be used to identify an exact leak location. Soap bubbles are also easy to use. Simply paint the surface area with a soap solution and the bubbles will appear as a vapor gas comes out of the refrigeration surface or part at the point of the leak. A vacuum pump can be used to verify that there are no leaks before a system is charged. This method is highly recommended since a vacuum is required before adding refrigerant to any system that has been opened for repairs. This procedure was covered in the core section of the guide and workbook. So what we remember, you pull it down to 500 microns and you let it sit there and make sure it holds. Large system rules. As of January 1st, 2019, the following protocols apply to systems that contain over 50 pounds of refrigerant. The leak rate must be calculated every time refrigerant is added to the system. Verification tests must be performed on industrial process refrigeration, commercial refrigeration, and comfort cooling systems. Revised EPA leak rate thresholds for these applications. Now, I told you earlier we were going to get the thresholds. Here they are. 30% for industrial process refrigeration, 20% for commercial refrigeration, and 10% for comfort cooling. A certified technician must perform leak inspection to identify necessary repairs. The repair must bring the system leak rate below the threshold. This must be demonstrated when calculating the leak rate upon refrigeration addition. The technician must demonstrate that leaks were successfully repaired on the appliance, including initial verification tests done before the refrigerant is added, follow-up verification tests done after the refrigerant is added. If either the initial or follow-up verification test indicates that repairs were not successful, additional repairs and verification tests must be undertaken within a 30-day period until the EPA established leak rate thresholds are satisfied. Periodic leak inspections are required on appliances repaired to meet threshold leak rates. Periodic leak inspections must be conducted by a certified technician unless the appliance has an automatic leak detection system. All visible, accessible components of an appliance, piece of equipment, must be inspected. Examples of areas not considered visible include components that are insulated under ice, underground, in walls, inaccessible, elevated meters 6.5 feet or more above a support surface, or in a location where inspection would be unsafe. Equipment that contains refrigerants regulated by EPA Section 608 that cannot be repaired must be scrapped or retired, mothballed, within 12 months. So if it contains refrigerants and it can't be repaired, you got 12 months to get rid of it and put it to bed, put it to sleep, retire it. Equipment that contains refrigerants not regulated by EPA 608 that cannot be repaired must be scrapped or retired or mothballed. 18 months. So if it's not EPA 608 refrigerants, you got 18 months. If